like I always feel like I should be posing silly, doing something on that screenshot because other than that, it looked pretty boring. Oops, there we go. That looks like the right amount of the balance between my head and I can read the comments from here. So yay. Good stuff. Okay, good things too. I love it when I check my messages and there ain't nothing there. So good morning. Cheryl Siegel. Hi. Hi. Gina. Hi. Good to see you. Glad you guys are taking some time. Anybody who can see and hear me, just put a little I can see and hear you in the comments. That would be awesome. So I don't have to get worried about that. My fear is that I'll be talking into the void and you guys can't see me. Spreading sunshine. I love it. My yoga block. Thank you for your service. Ooh. Oh, I almost got it into my yoga bag. All right, there we go. Erin is there. I can see and hear you. People can see and hear me. Lori is here. Lori, I hope you're feeling better. I hope you're feeling better, calmer, more decluttered in your heart. I love it. Kara has jumped over with us, you guys, and she is posting while she's watching me. So yeah. Oh, Gina, I felt like you hung up on me mid sentence. Was it your sentence or my sentence? I may have cut myself off. Gina, feel free to write it down. I love it. Cat Roby says, okay, I can finish my 54 in here and then do the physical cluttery stuff. SBB is the bomb. Yeah, and notice how Cat Roby is eager to do her decluttering because she's like, some tasks we do in our lives, decluttering the physical stuff feels like fun compared to some of them. All right. Good noon to all y'all. Now, Gina, here's the funny thing. Gina says I may have cut her off mid-sentence, but you know what? We had to shift gears. If I was cutting off myself, I was about to do the safety dance because I was like, you can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind because your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, they're no friends of mine. We can do. So I digress. I digress singing. That's my life. It truly is. I wouldn't want it any other way. And even that reminds me of a song. So nice to see you, Judy Dukes, and Cheryl and Gina and Regina and Laura Voorhees. Nice to see you. And all right, we've got ourselves here. You guys are getting very good at going from one channel to the next. How about the next level in this video game called YouTube Live? Do you know how to give the thumbs up? People have said that putting the thumbs up and liking this live help it get out to more people. I don't know if it works or not, but if you don't know, I just saw it change, so somebody does. Do you know how to put the thumbs up? If you do, please do it. If you don't, learn. And if you don't feel like it, it's totally up to you. There we go. I love Therapy Gal Sue says, hi, decluttering my numbered work to-do list a la Cat. So notice Cat Roby. You are inspiring other people with, as you like to call them, your scheduled Beth blinders. When Beth is on, Beth Destination Decluttering Life Coach at your service. When I'm on, Kat says, oh, I'm going to use this time when Beth is on to put on some blinders and focus down on a task. Focus down on a task. That's another down for that list of downs we all talk about. Not all the downs are good, but 90% of the ones we mention here are. So don't talk down to yourself. That's not such a great thing to do. Drink down some water. I will do that because I've been speaking for over an hour. Notice what happens when you drink water. You have to slow down your breathing. You drink water a gulp at a time. You need to let it settle and go down, or you will drown yourself or you will cough. So notice how drinking water can slow down your physical sense, your nervous sense. I highly recommend it. And your innards are going to thank you for it too. All right. Now, I love this. Laura Voorhees says, I'm resting for a few minutes and then heading to do the dishes that piled up. The kitchen will look and feel so much better. And notice the dishes piled up, but she's going to knock down that pile. And the dishes aren't going to break because she's going to do the dishes, just not tuck it down. Now, Leslie M says, I'm following Kat's leave. I can stay 30 minutes and I am addressing kitchen clutter from the fun dinner party last night. Yay for fun dinner parties, Leslie. Yay for going to bed and saying, I'll deal with it tomorrow. And better yet, dealing with it tomorrow, not letting it accumulate more. Yay for boundaries around time, saying no to something else to say yes to the dishes because you know at the end of doing the dishes, even 30 minutes of cleaning up, you are going to feel better and it's going to look better wherever you are. Boundaries, practicing staying focused. Staying focused is a habit. The more you do it, the stronger your focus muscle becomes. The less you say, I can't focus on anything, the more you're pinballing around. I think I got the pinballing from Laura Voorhees. You're bopping around like a pinball machine. Now, sometimes it's fun to, as I said, on the surface, kind of putter and declutter, go from room to room and just, oh, this and that. Embrace that. It all doesn't have to be deep work. Not every conversation needs to be like, oh, and then Nietzsche said, but also, if you only stay on the surface, all you get is surface level results. And you know how it feels different when it's a deep clean versus a surface clean and a deep clutter and whatever. Um, Sarah A. Beth, do you have a daily uniform? Oh, hell yeah. Does it help decision fatigue? Completely. Some days it's overwhelming to pick out an outfit. Sarah A., we must have just met because, man, there are 720, maybe even more, YouTube videos on my YouTube channel of me sitting in front of my camera talking. 724. When this one goes up, it's going to be 725. Yes. Black t-shirt, black hoodie. I bet you could count on two hands out of all those 700 videos of when I'm wearing something other than that. Now, do I wear some things different in my real life? Yeah, but I like to wear, I don't want to spend any of my decision making on outfits. Sometimes I do, though. Sometimes I do. Like I just bought this wicked cute dress. Wicked cute dress. And so sometimes I do, but also I just like to throw on clothes. Other times, people, and I have seen people put on great outfits and they love it. Part of their creative expression is their clothing. That happens to me sometimes when we go to like a tiki event or a vintage thing, or if we got dressed up real fancy, but that doesn't happen often. So on those days that it's not happening, I am totally yoga pants and t-shirt, hoodie, boom. I don't have to worry about it. But notice if it's overwhelming to pick out an outfit because of so many decisions, how can you simplify it? How can you simplify it? I have a finite amount of colors that I like to wear, and I have honed in on what makes me feel good, look good, and that I don't have to worry about it. So yeah, notice what overwhelms you and chunk it down. What can you do to change the feeling of overwhelm? Focus down. Focus down. Scheduled Beth Blinders. I love it. Now, there was something that Laura Voorhees said that I want to bring up, and I'll offer this. When I don't see comments, I will just kind of, pick up a thread and run with it. So if you have something specific you want my help with decluttering wise, please put it in the comments. Let's embrace the liveness of this moment. It's going to be over in about 51 minutes. So use this time to get yourself some info to move forward. Laura Voorhees said, resting for a few minutes. Yay. Notice we talked earlier, and I'll recap it for those of you who are tuning in now and weren't on the TikTok live. But again, we start with our physical from the tip of your head to the tips of your toes, from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes. Notice the down. Do a body scan. How are you feeling? If you're feeling good, awesome. Then work on your check in with your energetic body, your physical body, your energetic body. Notice Laura says, I'm resting for a few minutes because she did a scan from the top of her head to down to the tips of her toes and realized that she's feeling tired, so she's resting. Yay for noticing how you feel. That is a message from your body that says, stop and let me rest and we'll feel better. Ignore your body at your peril, people. Ignore the lump. It may be cancer. It may be nothing, but if you ignore it, you could run into something. Do not ignore your body, your physical body and your energetic body. Okay. Now I love this. Laura Voorhees is offering. I often pick out my clothes ahead of time so I don't get stressed. I do that too, just kind of mentally. For Tech Week during the last show I directed, I had all my outfits planned for all week, including undies, socks, and jewelry. Notice spending a little bit of time pre planning can make the journey so much easier. That is called a roadmap. Monday, I'm going to wear this. Tuesday, I'm going to wear this. Wednesday, I'm going to wear that. So you invest some of your time at the beginning creating a plan so that you're not having to do it on the fly. To be like, oh, I don't know. Once I'm in Harrisburg, where am I going to go? Oh, I guess I'll go to Marietta, or I don't know. I'm making stuff up. Making a road map makes everything run more smoothly. Sure, you're going to get unexpected roadblocks and, geese are going to be crossing the road or, there's a flat tire. Random stuff's going to happen. But if you don't have a plan, notice the feeling. Notice writing down a plan. Notice the difference in feeling between writing down a shopping list to go to the grocery store and not having a shopping list on paper, trying to remember stuff in your head. Which one feels better? Yeah. All right. Erin Colvin Collins is asking us for a little encouraging nudge. Here you go. Mwah. Here you go. You can do it. Because she says, I gave away my wedding gown 2 years ago, but can't seem to let go of the receipt for it from 1999. Can someone please give me an encouraging nudge? Yeah. When we have things that are sentimental, and seriously, I have saved sentimental things that are random. Isn't it interesting? Looking at that printed out, written down receipt, seeing where you bought it, the date it was where you purchased it, how much you paid for it. There may be even more stories in those dot matrix printing or the handwritten printing. There's a lot more story there possibly than the dress itself. Not sure why I still like to look at it. How about this? I would do this. I would find out. If you are not sure about something, find out. It's fun to find out. I know what makes an ocean wave blade. I'm getting them confused. I'm crossing wires, and this is I'm totally digressing myself, you guys. But I will share for those of you who grew up in the Boston area. I'm crossing my commercials for the Museum of Science with the one from the aquarium. Okay. Yeah, exactly. And here's the funny thing. Erin says, I got rid of the husband. Why can't I get rid of this paper? You know what? Maybe the receipt reminds you of when you thought it was going to be good. That receipt was you investing in that dress because you thought it was going to be a good life with your husband. We don't go into, ideally, you don't go into marriage thinking it's going to suck. Right. So that may talk to you, that may speak about an earlier, more innocent Erin who was white lace and promises, a kiss for luck, and we're on our way. We've only just begun and all that Carpenter stuff. And now I love that song. But I offer to you, it has memories for you. Why not sit down and write down? What are those memories? What do I feel? What are the images in my head when I look at this receipt? You know? Now, Brooklyn says, what do we do with our wedding dresses? Donate them. Donate them. Donate them to people who can't afford the wedding dresses. Sell them if you want to, but you know what? Donating. Offer them up free to somebody. If somebody doesn't want it as a wedding dress, maybe they work in a theater and they want it as a what do you call it? Like a costume. Maybe you turn it into a Halloween costume and you go as a zombie bride. So many things you can do it. There we go. I love it. I love it. Cat Ruby says, my Casey Kasem background music is from 1972 today. Exactly. The Carpenters. We've only just begun to live. White lace and promises. A kiss for luck and we're on our way. We've only begun. Everybody, we're going to sing along to the Dancing Bulls, I love this. Laura Voorhees is offering, isn't there a charity that takes wedding dresses and makes baby gowns for babies that died in infancy? Oh, talk about all the feels. Talk about all the feels. So Brooklyn, the neat thing is the opportunities to do certain things are going to depend partially on your local location and partially on what's available out there. I highly recommend doing a Google search. Research can help you feel good about your decision when you're decluttering. We talked about it on the TikTok live about researching the things you think you're going to sell and seeing how much they can sell for, researching where in your area you can donate things, researching what are some things I can do with my wedding dress that I'm no longer going to wear again. Research, never underestimate it. Now, don't get stuck in research mode. None of this analysis paralysis. Research enough to know some options, pick one that feels good to you, and take action. Okay. Monica Kennedy, good afternoon to you. And you're right, it is afternoon. It's 12:16 Eastern Time. Excuse me. My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. I will be here with you for the next 44 minutes. And we've got TikTok Live and YouTube Live tomorrow, the next day, the next day. We've got 2 decluttering parties coming up in the next handful of days, Thursday and Saturday. And then, just as a heads up, looking kind of down the road, because it's again, it's a road trip, looking down the road after this weekend. Next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I will be with you. But then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I'm off the grid because I'm traveling. My niece is graduating college. WTF. I feel like she just got there. I feel like the kids, they're in school from grades 1 to 12 for like 40 years, and you blink an eye and they're out of college. It's crazy. Now, Kara is putting a time limit on research. Never underestimate where you can use the timer to help you get closer to action. So Kara says, excuse me, I'm going to burp. Kara says, I put a time limit on research. And for this stuff in the garage, I'm using Chat GPT as my assistant, and that's life changing. I love that. I am not familiar with using Chat GPT for things. Kara, I'm just curious, since it's just a handful here, what are some things that you used? What are some phrases you used with Chat GPT to help you with your research when you were decluttering? If you want to add some of those to the chat, that might help some of us who want to play with Chat GPT and experiment with stuff. Just a thought. But yeah, a time limit, a timer can help you get started because you know you have an end time that you need to be done with something by. I will research this for 20 minutes. You know what this also stops? Going down ye oldie rabbit hole. And then I went down the rabbit hole. You can stop yourself from going even deeper and then getting off the grid because you've got your destination to pay attention to. My destination is Destination Decluttered, not to learn all about all the things. And I love to research. I love learning stuff. Again, I know what makes an ocean wave, right? And I can walk like a penguin. And my name is Karen. I'm going to watch those two I'm going to watch those 2 commercials right now. Boston Museum of Science and aquarium. Aquarium. Watch. Notice verbs are action. Watch those commercials so I can make sure I'm quoting them correctly. Okay. A timer is part of your toolkit. The words in your head and your pad and paper are in your toolkit. Maybe you're like Dora the Explorer and you have like a backpack. You've got a timer in it. You've got a pen in it. You've got a notebook. You've got a spiral bound notebook. And you've got a travel journal notebook in your Dora the Explorer toolkit. What else do we have in our toolkit? Really, those things. I don't know. A calendar. Yep. Those things. Kat Roby is tuning in. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. I love it. Kat Roby has 16 things. I love it. Okay, so Kat Roby, yeah, the 5th dimension. You got it. So Kara is offering, just so all of us know, and the neat thing is because this is a YouTube live, I believe the comments port over when you see it live, when you see the repeat on it. She says, I paid $20 for Chat GPT Plus for this stuff because I needed help to look stuff up quickly. I figured $20 a month for this month and next month, it's already paid for itself, and it's already paid for itself. She adds a picture of something she's looking to sell to Chat GPT, and I'll ask ID, details, and value. Working smarter, not harder. And notice that technology can make certain parts of a process that used to be manual more easy. Yeah. Today, uploading a picture and asking for a Facebook Marketplace listing. Yeah, have it write the description. You do need to double check. It's not always right, but it is more than it's not. It's giving you something to get started with. Now, I love this because that was one of the things I found out when I was experimenting with being a writer. And I say experimenting, and I wrote a bunch of books, but it was never easy for me. To me, I found it much easier to write something and then edit it versus trying to come up with something perfect. So the neat thing is ChatGPT gives you a rough draft, but you still have to verify it for accuracy because it's just a machine. It does not know things, but your brain machine knows something better. What a cool idea. What a cool idea, Kara. I love that. That never would have occurred to me, but I think that's awesome. Yeah. I got to start playing with it. I just haven't yet. Yet. Yet is a good word. So, what can you do? What technology can you use to make your decluttering easier? Now, this is great. This is crazy, actually. This is crazy because Kara is using this as we speak. So she's multitasking. She's not only chiming in here, she's listing things on, I guess, Facebook Marketplace. She says, then I copy and paste the title and description. I love myself a copy and paste, and I love it. She has already posted, you guys, it's only 12:22 and we've been live since noon. She has already posted 7 things so far during this live. Okay? I love it. It identified marks on the sterling yesterday, telling me the year of manufacture, maker, dates, etc. How freaking cool is that? It's like an assistant. Yeah. Instead of, yeah, artificial intelligence, I would be like artificial assistant, right? Because intelligence is connecting dots that the magical human brain can do. But what can you do to make your decluttering easier? Part of this exactly is what we're talking about. Is what tools can I use to make my decluttering easier? Now, I'm old school, so I offer to you your brain, your head, and your heart are going to be the ones that if you use them, it's going to be easier to declutter versus you ignoring them. Notice how it feels when your head and your heart are out of alignment and you're trying to declutter versus when you're tuning into how you think and how you feel and the difference there. So go back to not the artificial intelligence, but the OG intelligence of the human head and the human heart. Use the artificial stuff to maybe get you started, but notice what's really in you is your own manual, your own roadmap. And is it filled with roadblocks? Have you even created a roadblock? You know? Now, Jason is saying, thanks for sharing this tip of Chat GPT. I have so many antiques I want to sell, but the research for the correct part is the hardest roadblock lately. Awesome. See, that's why I was asking Kara to start that herself. Now, I tend to get enthralled when I'm doing research and I lose sight of the destination of I'm here to find out the price of this thing. I like to research and find out more about things. I was an art history major, so I love learning stuff I'm interested in. But that often can get me in the way. It's why it took me so long to write some of my books because I was more in research mode than I was get this freaking book out mode. So, Jason, I'm glad this is helping you. And I'm sure if you have any specific questions for Kara, you guys can chat in the chat about it. But again, Chat GPT, it's in the toolkit if you want to use it. If you don't have any interest in it, use your OG intelligence, which is the combination of the words in your head and the feelings in your heart. The words in your head and the feelings in your heart, when they are like a traffic signal and they're both green light, you easily do things, you easily take action. When one is one color and one is the other, not so much. It's like you're at a traffic signal and 2 colors are on at the same time and you don't know which one to follow. And so there's tension. Should I say or should I go? You know? Kara's offering some more things in the comments. She says, I know a lot about 50s vintage, but not English silver from the 1890s. She's learning a lot. Yeah, but I know there's controversy about AI. Yeah, like anything, there's going to be controversy. There's controversy about social media. There's controversy about use it for good and not evil. It's as simple as that. I do look at eBay solds to double check. AI is looking at auction sites, etc. Okay, you guys feel free to have a convo right there about it. Please notice getting your questions answered is part of making it feel easier to move forward in the direction you want to go. So while those guys chat about ChatGPT and things, what can I help you with? They're chatting in the corner. They're at the cocktail party, drinking and chatting about that stuff. How can I help you? I'm sitting around here just waiting for somebody to ask me a question about something I'm good at. How can I help you? I'm sitting here near the California dip in my 50s chip and dip, just waiting. Boop. I'm going to check one thing over here. Now, this is really fun. Um, talk about me knowing myself and in researching something I like. Just a quick aside. Um, I was reading an article in the Boston Globe about an art heist in Worcester. And there was one sentence in it. I'm like, do, 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 do. Hey, that piques my interest even more than this. And I went on a deeper dive and I said, oh, this is interesting. I think a friend of mine would like this information too. And I shared it with him. And he said, I had read that article, but leave it to you to do the deep dive. Yep, I did. And I shared it with him. And now he's excited about what I shared with him. Yeah. Hey, this is really fun. Kat Roby is down to 3 is a magic number. She's got 3. She's got 2. She's got 1. She's got 3 more tasks, 2 more tasks, 1 more task. And Kara says, I really want to thank you, Beth. This group really made me some money this week and got me going. Notice how it feels to be in that feeling of getting going, doing stuff. Your wheels, you're on the road, you're in a groove. How fun is that once you get going? All righty. Now, Erin says, I need a new idea for storing purses and tote bags. I donated a bunch, but kept so many. Okay. Now, here's a fun thing, Erin. Maybe go on to the computer, open up another tab, find out a chat GPT, how to store my purses and tote bags. Maybe you experiment with what Kara's doing. But notice you say you donated a bunch, but kept so many. Is so many still the right number, or might you do another culling? If not, you can say, how do I store 20, 40, 60, 80 totes, however many bags you have? What are some ideas to do that? Use the hive mind here for decluttering and ChatGPT or a Google search to get ideas of storage. You could play with that. No, I love it. Kat Roby is down to 3, maybe 2, maybe 1 task. And she says this list she's working on had accumulated since 2022. We are here at the end of her destination. She started this list in 2022. Where am I pointing? I'm pointing the wrong way. She is so close to destination list be gone. What a great feeling. Okay. So Erin is saying, I really like all of them. So no tension causing clutter. Good to know. Good to know. But they literally have their own closet. Is that okay? Is it okay? That's the closet. That's my purse closet. How freaking cool could that be? Zsa Zsa Gabor probably had a purse closet. So I don't know. Does that feel good to you, or you want to do something else? Jason is going to plan to use ChatGPT in an hour or so when I get home to work list items. Excellent. Jason, I'm going to be I do TikTok lives and YouTube lives pretty much almost every day, except for when I don't. They're scheduled. So if you're on my mailing list, you'll get the schedule. It's a hidden page on my website. If you're not on the mailing list, Jason, it is destinationdecluttered.com. You can sign up for it. It's free. I don't send out a lot of emails. And mostly, honestly, the emails I send are like, hey, I updated the secret page. So you always get a link to the secret page. And the secret page has when I'll tune in next. And the reason I say that is because I'm sure we're all curious about how you use ChatGPT to maybe declutter some of the stuff that you've been struggling to let go of. Okay. I love this. USC 595 is tuning in from yesterday. Started grouping my clothes to declutter. Grouping, what I like to call chunking down into categories. Chunking it down. Grouping things like items together. I love that you're doing that. Now, here's a funny thing. Kat Roby forgot that she had written some things down. So some of the things on her list were there again. She says it's just like physical clutter. i.e., several tasks were in there 2 to 3 times because I didn't know they were already in the list because it had no organization. It was a someday maybe list. I find that about myself too. So I'll share with you when I write down a list of things, what I notice would be the things that come up frequently. Now, this to me, when I think of this, I think of vacation destinations, of ideas of where I want a vacation. And if I have written to myself 50 plus times, more than once, let's say, that I want to go on a guided tour of the Greek islands and not on a cruise ship, if I write that down a bunch of times, there's something there that I keep on coming back to. So I love that, and I don't mind when I see the repeats because I'm like, obviously this keeps on coming up, and I'm like, yes, it's a good idea. Write it down. So I love that. Good. Kara, Lori, Cat Mama is asking you something. She says, for Facebook Marketplace, do you have them come to your house or mail? I have some larger things I want to sell. And I love it. Kat Roby's almost done, so she's going to join USC 595. I'm going to join you in sorting. I made it through my list. Biggest task of the week, and it's only Tuesday. Check you out. Work on your posture. How does it feel to already be done with that list? And it's only Tuesday. Now you get to play. You get to use a different part of your brain by sorting clothes. Fun. Okay. Beth, do you have ideas for order of decluttering when all surface is done? Nothing is a priority. When nothing's a priority, everything's a priority. Yeah. How about this? Play. How about, okay, Therapy Gal Sue, we're going to get specific. Okay, so let's chunk things down. What room would you like to work in? Put it in the comments. What room calls to you that you would like to do some decluttering in? What room do you want to start in that you know if you did some decluttering in the stored stuff there, you would feel better? What area of your house? So chunk it down. Let's chunk it down into what area of your house you want to be in. Okay. Unknown says, I'm a girl, 18 years old. I just hate my life. What do I do? Talk to somebody about it. Get some help. Get somebody you trust and share that with them. If you don't trust them, don't share. Get some mental health help, my dear. Okay. So do that. Okay. Okay. So Therapy Gal Sue, I love it. Notice what we do. We are using the tool of chunking it down. My walk-in closet. Now this is great because you and Kat Roby and you USMC 595, you're all in clothing mode. Okay. So what I want to offer to you is chunking it down again. So there we go. USC 595 cashmere shredders round 1. I've removed 3. So notice USC 595 is chunking down the clothing with into cashmere sweaters and not cashmere sweaters. So what is a chunk of clothing that you already just kind of innately have that feeling if I have too many of this category of clothing? Okay. So when I say that to you, Sue, what comes to mind? Oh, I feel like I have way too many muumuus. I have way too many long sleeve black t-shirts. Ooh, I have way too many. I feel like I have way too many pairs of black yoga pants with pockets on the both sides. What is something that when you look in your closet, you have an idea of a category that you have too many? Shoes. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So now notice we're not even looking at the clothing. We're looking down maybe where the shoes are on the floor. Shoes. Now, shoes can be, again, chunked down again. And notice what we're doing. Every time we're going chunk, chunk, chunk. We went from the house to the room to the closet to the floor. Now, what is a category of shoes that you look at that you feel like you don't even know maybe what you have? Boots, maybe, even winter shoes, spring and summer shoes. Is it black shoes? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I like to do the seasonal ones because there are certain shoes I don't wear all year. So when I offered you, what's a category of shoe you would like to just see what you have, and start to go through and make some decisions? If it were me, I would probably want to revisit like my ones that I'm going to think of wearing for the upcoming season. Like I can leave my snow boots until next year when it gets to be snow boot season, but to me this is finally where I am, the cusp. Okay, so you want to do winter. Okay, cool. So if you notice what you did, now you're not looking at sandals and sneakers and stuff, you're looking at winter shoes. Here's what I would say. Even now, you can also probably be like, these are my tall boots, these are my medium boots, these are my small boots. These are my closed-toed shoes. You could you have more categories? You could chunk things down into winter clothes? Into winter? What's a category of winter shoes? When you look at them all, are they all just one individual, like I've got one pair of this and one pair of that, and none of them can be grouped together? Or do you have a chunk that's a category of winter shoes? Now, notice I'm asking her questions. She's giving those questions to her OG intelligence, and her intelligence is coming up. Okay, boots, winter boots. It went from shoes to winter boots to winter boots. Okay. How many pairs of do you know how many pairs of winter boots do you have? Notice, kind of like Chat GPT, we are using original in intelligence. How many pairs of winter boots do you have? If you don't know, maybe that's the first thing. Find out how many pairs of winter boots I have. How big is the chunk of winter boots? So it may take you a few minutes to count them, to pull them out, but pull out that one chunk out of the closet, because this is the great thing about surface is all done. The surface clutter, when you start with surface clutter and you declutter the surface, it gives you a surface to then spread out when you get into your stored clutter. And you're going to need a surface to spread out the stuff that you've crammed into the floor of your closet. So notice the process here. And just like Chat GPT, you're asking yourself, your OG, and you know more than Chat GPT does. How would Chat GPT know how many pairs of winter boots you have on the floor of your closet? Okay. That doesn't know, but you do. You are an intelligent person with your own intelligence. Use it for good and not evil. Now, as Sue is counting out her boots, Leslie says, kitchen is clean, dinner party, a beautiful memory. Write it down. Do you have your good book? This is in your toolkit. Write down the good stuff. Had a wonderful dinner party on Monday, June 2nd, 2025. These are the people that came. This is what we ate. This is what we did. Keep those memories somewhere other than your brain, because your brain is a sieve. Yay. Now she's heading to the bedroom closet too. Look at we're inspiring each other. Everybody's working on the same thing. Sometimes this happens during the declutter parties too. This is what we do. We're all working on the same thing together. So you're in a group, you're not alone. Now, Gal Sue says, I have 11 pairs of winter boots and love them. Good. 11 pairs of boots that I love. But San Antonio is hotter now and I don't wear them anymore. Oh, so notice I have 11 and I loved them all. At a certain point, I loved them all because now San Antonio is hotter now and I don't wear them anymore. So you loved them when San Antonio was not as hot, and you wore them and loved them before global warming. Now things are different. Notice what she's all doing. She is chunking down and she's noticing I don't wear them anymore. And especially the ones with the fuzzy on the insides. So I'm noticing the last time I wore that was a while ago. So I'm going to chunk down the winter boots even further into ones that have fuzz on the inside and ones that don't. Now, Unknown is asking, do you believe in manifestation? Does manifestation really work? I'm happy to mention this to you. My take on manifestation is getting your head and heart in alignment. So the words in your head make you feel a feeling. And then here's where manifestation happens. When your head and your heart are in alignment, then you are more likely to take action to create what you want. Manifestation is not just sitting there on the couch waiting for things to happen to you. It's getting you feeling like you can do something to create what you want and then going and doing the thing. That's how I think it is. Now, Leslie says, are there some next level questions to ask about sandals specifically? Okay. And you can do the same with the clothes. It's the same process. But Sue, what I would offer is stick with the boots right now, just so you finish at least one category. Okay. Don't pivot to the clothing now that you see how you can apply the same process everywhere. Leslie is asking about sandals. I will answer a couple of things. First of all, comfort. Are they comfortable? Are they comfortable? Put them on, walk around on them. Some of them, are damn well not comfortable, but you put them away because I might wear them someday to a wedding, to a graduation. Have you worn them? If not, are they uncomfortable? And I say, as I get older, my footwear gets more comfortable and less fashionable. And I'm okay with that because I don't want to suffer for fashion. I don't want to suffer for anything. I want to feel good in my body and I don't want my dogs barking at me and they can. So I have adjusted the sandals I wear. I wore a pair of sandals the other day. I wore them around and I was like, I've had these for years and I forgot how slippery the insides were. And so I wore them for a while and I could feel myself getting a little blister. So I took them off, wiped them up, put them immediately into a donation bag. Ain't nobody got time for uncomfortable clothes. Right? Yeah. Lori is noticing sandals are a fall risk for me. You know, you might slip and fall going to the Goodwill. Yeah. And notice your where you are in your sandal journey. Maybe it's a year later from sandal weather where I am. What kind of sandals do I want to wear now? Now, I will offer this to you guys. I saw something recently on TikTok about like wearing black sandals and shoes and how they can kind of like it looks nicer when you have like a nude shoe, like a neutral shoe or sandal because it elongates your leg. And I said, "Oh, I never even really thought of that." But I'm going to experiment with it. So I'm going to look at my sandals with fresh eyes and I'm going to say, okay, does that make my legs look stubby? Or maybe what I will say is, maybe I will donate the ones that make me feel dumpy or stubby to ways I don't want to feel. And perhaps I will keep an eye out for comfortable shoes of a tone that makes my legs look elongator. Okay. Yeah. Now, I love this. Kara is chiming back, and this is true. A note about AI. I have years of research experience, so I can see where ChatGPT is off. So be sure to double check what it tells you. It's a great help, though, with supervision. Yes, and this is a really important life lesson. Double check the sources of your information. Don't just believe it just because ChatGPT says it. Just because it's printed on the internet, don't believe it unless it's from a source that you trust to be truthful. I have looked up a couple of things and I'm like, "Oh, that is so not even a thing." It's from like fakenews.com and Donald Trump this. So, seriously, whether you're researching something to sell on eBay or you're saying what is really going on in the world or where do I sell my gold? Trust. Find a person you trust. Find a news outlet you trust and trust them. And when things show up and they're not truthful, notice that and notice that that is a source of information that cannot be relied upon. Double check your sources to feel good about what you're saying is a fact or not. So much of what is going on, and I know we're talking about clutter, but we live in a world that is more continually being affected by people lying straight to our faces, but they do it with such rapidity and belief and mesmerization that there are people out there believing things that are not factually true. And this is doing irreparable harm to our country and our world and our lives. So this can be, is this thing from Reed and Barton or Gorham Silver? Double check whose hallmark it is versus, you know, are vaccines harmful or helpful? Consider the sources and consider the source. And if you believe them, how does it benefit them? Seriously. Okay. Yeah. Because Kara says meeting, it had misid'd a few things, but she knew about them. Again, she was using the OG intelligence, her knowledge. And if you don't have an expertise in a in an area like she does and caught something that's like, no, 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 that's off. That is totally off. That is not Fiesta wear. That's Harlequin wear. I know that because of my knowledge. If you don't have that knowledge, that's okay. Other people do. Find trustworthy sources. I hope that I prove myself worthy of your trust by telling you to go see if what I offer to you works out, that I encourage you to think independently, to not just trust somebody, but to just check them, double check them until they prove themselves trustworthy. I was married to a liar. I was married to a man who consistently lied to me. And it took a long time for me to trust anybody else again. Luckily, I have a now currently, 25 years relationship in the making, married 23. There are trustworthy people out there. There are people worthy of your trust. There are sources of information worthy of your trust. And there are some that are not. Verify your sources. And once you find something that can be trusted, feel more trusting in it. Okay? So, trust is a huge thing. Trusting that you will do the thing you said you were going to do. Do you not trust yourself? Do you tell yourself you're going to do something and then you don't do it? Are you worthy of your own trust? Notice when that happens. I show up in your life to help you increase the number of times that you say you're going to do something and then you do it. I'm going to do this and I did it. I'm going to declutter my shoes. I decluttered my shoes. Versus I'm going to declutter my shoes and suddenly I find myself watching TV. Now, there's nothing wrong with watching TV, but if you said you were going to declutter your shoes, why did you veer off? Why did you take a left-hand turn as opposed to going straight towards destination decluttered shoes? I love that intersection. Because we all get into intersections. We have roadblocks. You get to a stop sign and you say, if I go straight ahead, that's going to be what I said I was going to do. How many times do you pause and then drive ahead in the direction you wanted to go to? And how many times do you veer off course? Instead of going straight ahead, you take a left or a right. If you don't trust yourself, you can repair that relationship with yourself. You can start to do the things you say you're going to do and learn to trust yourself again. You know? There we go. Kat Roby stayed at the desk. She took a left. Okay, Kat, no big deal. We got 12 minutes. 12 minutes is a long time. You can continue and notice. You at a intersection can own your decision. Excuse me. Feel good about the decisions you're making. If you thought you were going to jump into clothing, but then there was something else at your desk, notice it. Do you feel good about what you did? Do you feel good about staying at the desk? Or do you want to get up out of the desk? And I will say, Kat, if you've been, yeah, because I wanted to, I will highly recommend just even stepping away from the desk and moving your body. I get stuck at my desk a lot willingly, and I have to remember to get up and move and stretch my body and just, see what else is there and that type of thing. Yeah, dancing and sorting, good stuff. All righty. So USC 595, I'm a teacher off for the summer. I've worked with a lot of teachers that have the summer off, and don't worry, I will show up a lot for you to help you with this. I am determined to declutter my house. Notice that determination. Notice when it wanes. Notice when it's strong. But you can do it. You've already shown up and are learning some of this stuff. Funny. Oh, funny. I'm up with Bon Jovi. I love it. So Kara says, I will say that 3 weeks ago when I asked for encouragement, I did not want to do the thing, but she did it anyways. Yeah, sometimes there are things that we have to push ourselves to get the momentum going. But once we do it, and now look, Kara started something she wasn't particularly enthused about. Holy Moses, she's made over almost $2,500 and she's on a roll. She's feeling good, but it didn't start out that way. She started out small and kind of reluctant. The wheels were turning slowly. Now it's different. Okay. I love it. She's up with Bon Jovi. We don't give clutter a bad name. Bad name. Love it. Now, Erin says, same here. I took a sharp left into an email I wanted to get over with, but now I can get back to paperwork with a clear head. Notice if it was hanging over your head like the sword of Damocles. Sword of Damocles hanging over my head. It ain't no crime, right? What's hanging over your head that's making you go, ugh? Clear that off. Do the thing that's hanging over your head, and it's going to feel clearer to do anything else. What's the shadow? What's casting a shadow on you? And I pause for effect so you can hear your head and your heart. What is it? You know? Yeah, what are the things that are hanging over your head? I know I've got one. I got to get back to my sister about something. Eesh. But I will because I don't want it hanging over my head. I have very little tolerance for letting things feelings that I don't want to feel dragging out. Okay. Now, I love this. I love how we get to have the real time live updates from Kat Roby getting through her list since 2022. Kara, this just in. This is just in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. It's Kara saying, I just listed 10 items on Facebook Marketplace since you're live. And that stuff has been sitting in my garage since last year. All the research was stopping me, and I'm letting it all go. Notice what stopped you. Oh, I have to do all this research. She found an easier way to do the research, and that stuff is now flowing out of the garage like rainwater. Now, unknown, that is something I would put into Chat GPT or Google. This is not the place for it, hon. Okay. Laura Voorhees is saying, just did several sinkfuls of dishes. Don't know why, but I am tired again. I know why you're tired again. Because you just did several sinkfuls of dishes. Yeah. Yeah. That is a physical act. You used energy. Your gas tank went from here to less. And also, truth be told, we have less energy than we did. We get tired or sooner as we age. Something that used to take not a lot of energy can tire us out. Doesn't it suck? Yeah. But the more we rail against it, the railing against it does not make it easier. So notice that and take more frequent breaks and naps. Okay. Now I love this. Erin Collins, look at again. Look at the community we have here. Look at the group we have here. We gave Kat or Kara some encouragement. She's making money. Erin is saying to Kat, you've made me feel so much better now, knowing that your list started in 2022 and I'm not alone. Oh my God, you guys, I will share with you. I have lists, not necessarily, I have a list of house stuff that needs to be done. It's probably years old, but it's all kind of minor stuff that, oh, if we get to it, we get to it. But I have stuff on my lists that are wicked old, but they're things that I felt like important at the time. And I look at them and I say, are they important now? And if they are, let them get it done. I mean, case in point with us, the basement. The basement. Oh my God, we've lived in this house 20 years. The basement floor for the first 10, awful, awful, awful water, water, water. About 10 years ago, we paid a lot of money and had a French drain. Then it was dry and awful. And every year we'd be like, oh, we got to do it. Oh, we got to do it. And you know how we ended up doing it this year? Starting early, chunking it down, doing some research, but not getting waterlogged in the research of who to get, finding a reputable source, interviewing some people that could do the stuff. Chunking it down really changed how quickly I get stuff done because I talk about it all the time, but I don't just tell you to do it and sit here and do something else. I find what I suggest to you do, it works for me. Now, Kara says to Laura, I do everything in 20 to 25 minute spurts. Yes, timer, because I have Ehlers-Danlos and live with daily pain. Ouch. It doesn't stop me, but I listen to my body and rest. And I will share with you, I don't know if it's just me. Ooh, we've got 6 minutes. I'm keeping an eye on the time. I think as we were growing up, and I think this is maybe just a Western society thing, we pretend we live from the neck up and we ignore from the neck down. We do not integrate what's going on in the head and the heart. It's like the neck is irrelevant, that we're not even connected. We're disconnected from how our bodies feel, but our bodies give us information all the time. As I said earlier, ignore your body at your peril. Notice pain. If you don't notice pain, you're going to make things worse. Kara knows about that, you know? Yeah. An unknown with love, this is not the forum for this. Okay. There are other places you can get the answers for that. We are folks who are talking about clutter. Okay. So I will continue to not acknowledge you after this. Okay. but I say with love, are answers for your questions, but this is not the forum for it. All right. But notice how you feel, notice how you think, and you can change how you think. You can become more aware of how you feel and use those superpowers to your advantage. Okay. Everybody, including unknown here. Because if you've grown up and you've been told to ignore your body, ignore your hunger, ignore your pain, work through the pain, tough it out, suck it up, buttercup, lose weight, starve yourself. Yeah, how freaking awful is that? And your body is like, no, don't do that. I'm hungry. I need nutrients. I hurt. I'm bleeding. I'm aching. At your peril. Work with your body. Don't fight it. Lori is saying naps are important. Yeah. Yeah. And then if you have a certain level of pain that you're doing everything to do and it still doesn't knock it down, working with your pain, living with it. I do everything in spite of my pain. It can't stop me. It can't stop me. I've been fighting to get help, but I don't like meds. So rest is my best help. So she does something. Kara does something. She rests and she keeps moving. She doesn't let it stop her. What are you letting stop you? Where on the road are you parked on the road for longer than you would like to be? Is your battery dead? Do you have a flat tire? Are you stuck in the mud and spinning your wheels? Do you not know where you're going? So you're like, I don't know. If I start driving, I have no idea where direction to head. Get curious. What is the answer to that question in your head? And then write that answer down. Yeah. Yeah. Go within. Go within. ChatGPT is a good external, but you know what? You're going to find the answers to your questions, not on the internet. You'll get some ideas of where to look. And I say, turn that looker inwards to your head, words, and your heart, feelings, and repair the relationship. Notice that when there's a green light here and a green light here, you're taking action and it flows like rainwater. Yeah. And USC 595, need to remind myself of that end result completely. Again, I feel like I was the smartest person on the planet for myself by calling my coaching Destination Decluttered. Because when I get lost in the mix and I'm all like, wait, okay, research, stuff, I say, wait a minute. What is my destination? Why am I currently doing what I'm doing? I am doing this now because I want that. Okay, is me spinning out here getting me closer to that, or am I just sitting here spinning my wheels? I'm sitting here spinning my wheels. Okay, how can I stop spinning my wheels and start moving towards that? But if I don't know what my destination is, the end result, it's going to be a lot harder. Now I love this because it's 12:58. We have 2 minutes left, and Kat Roby is saying, "Thank you all so much for holding my hand and keeping me company. I feel 1,000 times lighter and have more clarity. Notice the power of decluttering and community and encouragement, and it gets you taking the actions, doing the thing that now results in feeling lighter and having more clarity. I don't know about you, feeling light and having clarity. I love both of those feelings. More, please. I'll have what she's having, right? Now, Laura Voorhees hopefully is taking a chill and she's realizing because she's looking in the rearview mirror, why am I getting tired so quickly? Oh, because I went to bed late last night and the cat was a Tasmanian devil. Yeah, because the cat kept me up. Oh, I didn't get the rest that my physical body needs. And it's like, excuse me, I need rest. And at a certain point, it's like, let's take it. And I love it. She's also saying, Cat R, we love you and happy for you feeling so positive. Gina Mead is saying, thank you so much. Have the best day. You too. There we go, Kat Roby. Art history majors unite. retail managers unite. Okay, Therapy Gal Sue, I love it. Thank you for helping me today. Keeping 4 pairs of boots and donating 6. Back to work feeling lighter. All right, I hope everybody here is feeling better than they did, maybe even when they started, or even if you felt good when you started here, you maintained that feeling goodness. If you did, yay, my work is done here. If not, what can you do to make yourself feel good, feel better, and maintain that throughout the day. Pay attention to your physical body, pay attention to your energetic body. And as Shirley Bassey would say, I wish you love. Okay. And I will see you the next time on The Muppet Show. Okay. Bye bye.